that mountain and getting to the observatory at night, it's something really magical. It's the dark skies, and it's really, well, for sure, we love our region, so it's easy for me to say that, but it's one of the most beautiful places on earth, and we would like to share it with everybody.
Hello and welcome to Xtreme World Tour Meet the Organisers. I'm your host Tania Branzanic, and in this episode we are flying to the other side of the world and we are talking to Jean-Thomas Boily, one of the organisers of CANADAMAN Xtreme Triathlon. Bonjour Jean-Thomas Boily, ça va?
Oui, ça va bien, merci.
Alors, bienvenue sur le Xtreme World Tour Meet the Organisers.
Merci beaucoup.
À toi. Alors, tu es Canadien?
Oui, ici, justement, là, on est au changement de saison ici. La neige commence à fondre et on commence à se préparer pour la saison de triathlon.
Ah, ok, ça va. Bon, très bien alors. On y va.
Oui.
Well, I understand you're a part of a race organizing team, so could you please give us a brief introduction of yourself and the background of you and your colleagues?
Yes, my name is Jean-Thomas Boily from Canada. I'm a co-founder of Endurance Adventure. We are a race organization based here in Eastern Canada. We've been working for the last 20 years organizing races, and our last project that we wanted to do for such a long time is the Xtreme, and we're really excited to be part of the Xtreme World Tour now. We're just getting ready for the third year of this project, so we're very excited now.
Well, CANADAMAN was the first extreme triathlon in North America. What made you decide to organize an extreme triathlon?
Yes, just as I said earlier, we've been organizing for the last 20 years multi-sport race. We've been doing a lot of adventure race and a little bit of triathlon too. In the world of triathlon, for us, it was a little bit, we thought it was missing a little bit of adventure. And so we were thinking about how can we bring here in Canada a triathlon, and what we like the most is being out in the wild, and that's when we heard about the Norsemen many years ago, and we said, oh, that's the kind of race we would like to do, but we were really busy in many projects, so it took a while before we decided to go on and approach the series. So we've been talking and thinking about this triathlon for more than 10 years, and so 5 years ago, finally, we contacted Stuart and the guys at the series, and we said, well, we're ready to organize it here in Canada, and would you like us to be part of the family? And they said, and happily for us, they said yes, so now here we are.
You're a part of a big family, yeah. So about the location, which is Lac Mégantic, we all know that it's famous for all the wrong reasons, actually, due to the terrible train crash in 2013. Well, I understand that CANADAMAN was launched as part of the regeneration effort of the city. Well, can you please tell us how this idea and the relationship with the town came about?
Well, at first, we were looking everywhere in Canada to hold the race. And we were thinking about high mountain in the west. You know, Canada is a really big country. We have 5,000 kilometers from coast to coast. And we're thinking about it. And I remember one day we're sitting in the office and we said, well, we have a place just next door. It's Lac Mégantic. It's an hour from our office. I said, it's a perfect place. It's wild. The roads are beautiful. There's a big lake. And so we contacted the people in Lac Mégantic, and as you said, they were just coming out of this tragedy, but that's not why we went there. It's because of the geography. We said, how can we bring an event that would be unique and not a copy of what exists already on the Xtreme World Tour, but something really Canadian. Well, first thing that comes in mind when you come here is the forest. It's forest everywhere, and the best place around to see that it's in Lac Mégantic region. So we approached them like that, and they were really happy because they were, well, for the last many years they were reconstructing the town, the buildings and everything, but now they were they wanted to do go one step forward and bring people for the real reason, which is the territory, that beautiful place they have to do sports. So that's how we ended up getting there, and we started like that. And from there, the people, the local people, were really amazing. They really embraced the event, and now they took it. It's part of them. And people there, they call it our race. So that's good. That's what we want. And there's really a good sense of community, and all the community is behind the race. So it's a really good feeling.
Yeah, I saw the video from the race, which is really beautiful. As you said, it's a beautiful place, actually. And about the town, about the people, do you think that the town changed for the better since the first CANADAMAN in 2017?
What we didn't expect was that people would go out so much to cheer for the athletes. Like we were thinking it would be good for the town to have a nice event, people from international coming to race, discover the area. But we were surprised, and that in a good way. Everybody, I mean, in the morning, we start the race at 4:30 in the morning, and at 4 in the morning there was maybe 600 people looking for the athlete. Lac Mégantic is a town of about 4,000 people, so we had 600 people cheering for the athletes by the lake, and all day continue. At different spot on the course in the little village, people are out and looking for the race. And something special is the race. The race finish is at the top of the mountain, the Mont Mégantic. And to get there, it's a little bit complicated. You need to go to the part of Mont Mégantic, take a shuttle to the summit, and the park had a record. Entry record the first year because the people wanted to go see the finish line. So at the top of the mountain there was a lot of people, and that's something we did not expect, but it was such a nice surprise. Everybody wanted to be part of the race, and the second year was even better, and I'm sure this year will be even better.
Well, that's great, because actually that's the spirit of Xtreme World Tour, where to involve all the communities that are inside in every race around the world. But talking about the race, what are the unique features of your race?
Well, the race is really typical Canadian race. But for the lake, I mean, it's swimming. The swim is in a very nice lake with great water. The particularity of the course will be on the bike, because it's not the Alps or the Rocky Mountains. When you get there, people think, oh, it's not going to be hard because there's not so much big hills. But it's rolling hills all the time. We have 2,500 meters of uphill during the bike race, during the bike section. But you don't see it when you just go around the course by car. It's when you bike it, you feel it. And the athletes were surprised, especially the first year, the first time. People didn't expect it to be so hard because the grades are really steep too. So it's up and down, but non-stop. And we have like at 90K, we have maybe 3 kilometers uphill at 15 degree. And at 180K, we have 1 kilometer straight up to at 17 degree of hill. So it's a really challenging course. But it's a mental course because people don't expect it to be so hard. And then on the marathon, it's I would say 1/3 on the road of the area, 1/3 on the trails, and 1/3 on the dirt road. But in the trail, what makes it special, you really go inland and you cross people lands, and you get to the Mont Mégantic Park, which is a national park here in Canada. And the last 8 kilometers, you just go up the mountain. So to finish your marathon, you have 1,200-meter uphill. So and you finish at an astronomical observatory. So it's really
Well,
special
the
to
local
get
geography
there
is not what one might
during the
expect
night
for
and to
Canada,
see
where
this big
locations like
round building
Whistler may
waiting for
have been
you.
a more
It's
obvious
really
choice.
something
The dense
makes it
forests
special.
are
That's why we
reminiscent
call
of Bolivia, for example, but what
the
makes
phrase
this
of
type of
the
terrain
race
so
is reach the
suitable for an
stars
extreme
before
race?
midnight, because you really feel you get to the stars when you get to the top of the mountain. At first, when we thought about the race, we were looking in a region where we had really big mountains, like in the Rocky Mountains, like you said in your question, around like Whistler or big mountains. But in the end, we there was already the Swissman going that were in the big mountains, and we wanted to try something more typical of our area in the eastern Canada. And as you said, you don't expect it when you look at it from far. You say maybe it's not it doesn't look like a extra course because there's not big mountains. The views that you have are spectacular because you just see the forest and the mountains around. So it's a beautiful course to enjoy when you're cycling too. You can look around and you see beautiful views.
Well, do you get many Canadian athletes racing? And if so, are they primarily from Quebec or are they coming from all over Canada?
Yes, we were surprised with how many with how many Canadian athletes we got at the race. At first, we're not sure because Canada is we don't have a big population, so the athletes population is small. We said for a big race like that, will the Canadian will come? We didn't know. We knew that we would have people from international, but to our great surprise, a lot of Canadian came. For sure, a lot of Eastern Canadian came because it's not far. But we have people from all over Canada, all around. I think we have people from 10 provinces in Canada, and the North American too. From the US, we have people from all around the US. So it's a good. It's a good surprise for us to see how many people that comes from all around.
You have a great slogan, reach the stars before midnight. Well, tell us a little about your iconic finishing line.
We have the chance to have the only astronomic observatory in Eastern Canada here on the top of Mount Megantic. It's a really dark place during the night, so it's a perfect place in North America to look at the stars. So it's the finish of the marathon. You get to the observatories. That's the finish line. So when we were talking about a race that should be ending around midnight, and we were on the top of the mountain thinking about what could be the phrase of the race, and we're looking at the sky and we said, well, we just need to be here before midnight, so let's reach the stars before midnight. It was just natural to call it like that.
Yeah, and now I'll ask you the final question. Why you think athletes and supporters choose Canada as their next extra destination?
To live something different, the sense of community is so great here. When you get here as an athlete, you're really a star during the weekend. People from all the villages, they cheer for the athletes. So there's a really great ambiance around, and also to see something really different. To be part of the Canadian forest, and for sure to live the adventure of getting up that mountain and getting to the observatory at night. It's something really magical. It's the dark skies, and it's really well, for sure. We love our region, so it's easy for me to say that, but it's one of the most beautiful places on earth, and we would like to share it with everybody.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll come to visit you. Well, I come to visit you.
We hope so.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, thank you, Jean Thomas, and see you at CANADAMAN.
Yes, thank you very much. Merci.